first human history was published in 2009, and it's an account of um, analyzers who deal with other entities, alien entities, and they disclose it. Those, I don't know, as theory or whatever, I'm not sure. And neither is true what our scientists say. I don't believe either. So, well, let's see how it goes and what they say. Now, whether it really holds water. Earth peoples have been interacting with beings from other worlds since the beginnings on planet Earth. It's true, and they were here. They were here because, as I always say, always I have this feeling that we were here first. I mean, the animals were here first. Later, humans came, not aliens. The aliens came much later. The seedlings of present-day Earthmen were deposited upon Terra, which was Earth, what it was called Chimat, and Terra. Even now in Latin we call it Terra. By beings from star systems beyond the present capability to visit. So they say that we are a product of aliens. I don't believe that. I'm so sorry. I find that is a fraud. It's not true. The seedlings of present-day were deposited upon Terra by beings from. No, I don't believe. I'm so sorry. We are the our body, at least our body suit is a product of our ancestors, which were already Terrans, right? However, what they mean is maybe the soul or some hybrids. I mean, the soul, the spirit, the character, and some character, some neurons character is some kind of braining capabilities or distortion. I don't know, something like that. I mean, we have some seedlings, alien seedlings. However, we are mostly made up of our ancestral, which were Terrans or humans. By being from a star system beyond present capability now, right now, they claim that they can come and visit. What a lie! What a lie! They are still here. They are able to. They don't just are able to visit. They do visit Earth. Okay, stop your lies. We have reason to believe that our planet has been visited. Why not? Why not? Whether alien came or not, that's obvious to see. No, there's no shadow of doubt to still doubt the existence of other beings and that they are here. We cannot, even if we try to, we cannot hide it. Okay? Even if some morons, especially the religions, don't want to believe it, but they still believe in one form or another. Some believe that genie is which is an alien per se, and others that is a demon. So come to the same, okay? So nevertheless, whether your religion is Abrahamic or others, still believe that aliens exist. So there's an oxymoron to say, oh, we have to believe, a reason to believe. But of course, but why? Of course, it's there. It's already all the signs of aliens' life is there. The evidence for extraterrestrial visitation to Earth in the early days, of course. But they existing here is a thing, and they creating a. Is my God, this is a. I really cannot absorb it. I really cannot understand, and I cannot accept it. Aliens did not, and I repeat, not created anything. The prime source did, which some calls God. It did, okay? It creates everything. What aliens did was to replicate what was already created, what already existed. All they did was to manipulate something, make engineering, scientific engineering experiments with the species which the cosmos created, the multiverse created. Okay? No such thing, oh, because Anunnaki created the eyes, because of the aliens. That's nonsense. I cannot, cannot pass in my mind this nonsense oxymoronic idea. Really stupid. Just like that we come from the Darwin theory that we come from ape. Two stupid oxymoronic theories. My God, I didn't went to university, you see. I'm an educated person, but I I have a very good understanding of the things that people don't see and doesn't know compared with many others. And it's ridiculous to still think that aliens created us or that we came from apes. And I'm not religions either. I'm not religions. And I don't have to be in order to know that we were already created by the multiverse and by the, the source. Be open to the possibility that we are modern, of course. The following is a chronology of the prehistory of humans. Sorry. 35 million years ago, etheric intelligent civilization created and designed the guardians of Earth, but they were to find physical guardians. No, 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 no. They didn't find physical guardians. They found people here, indigenous people, okay? They find we. They find the hominids. The hominids were already here. No etheric thing, but before that, there were in parallel existing sea a kind of species that were etheric. Those beings didn't have a body like we do. I mean, they were half etheric, subtle, and half dense physical form. They had half physical form. They were still in the stage to become dense. It was many years ago, maybe, I don't know. I cannot say whether billions or millions, but it was a long time ago. Later, the vegetation turned blue. Okay? The sun was not like we have now, very hot. It was colder. And we we get all the nourishment from the sun, which were colder back then, and the vegetation blue ones, not green. I think that there has been a modification in the physical species in the organic form here. There has been a mutilation, something like that. So later, 26 million years ago, the reptoids from Beltrix system in the constellation of Orion in the other reptoid colonies from one of the lesser known stars in the constellation of Sagittarius. Oh, I knew Sagittarius. No, I don't like Sagittarius. Arrive and inhabit Earth. So you see, they came much after we were here, and still they lie and they claim that they were here first, and they lie about that. Whoever um, offers apology for them and make disclosure for them, those people too are reptoids, minions, claiming that they were here first. A lie. No, humans were here, and the animals. Spiritual hierarchies of Earth send much love to these colonies. Reptoids and dinosaurs allow a mammalian species to evolve to sentiency. Why would they? They are not gods. Why would they? Why would they ever meddle in something that's not theirs anyway? These mammals were called the pre-Cretaceans or Cretaceans, which were marine beings. Okay, reptoids and dinoids, which were the saurians. Saurians. So, spiritual hierarchy of us said much love to these colonies. Yeah, I wanted to say something. If these beings were the former here, they would already have destroyed us long time ago. Because they know that they are not the first, you see. They are just creations as much as we are. They too were created by the being, the source, prime source, the primordial source that created everything else. You think they have power to create things organic? No, I don't think so. They can emulate, they can change, they can alter, but they cannot create. Reptoids allow mammalian species to evolve to sentiency. These mammals were called the pre-Cretaceans. Why would they? So reptoids were now gods? Pre-Cretaceans provide ample food for all three colonies in exchange for technology, which would in turn improve the production rate further. And those are beings from the oceans. Pre-Cretacean provide ample food for three colonies. Three civilizations coexist in harmony, trading among one another for 8 million years. All three civilizations developed advanced forms of space-time travel. The pre-Cretaceans developed the spiritual side extensively, psychic abilities. 10 million years ago, the Reptoids Alliance from Beltrix come to stop the cooperation with the pre-Cretaceans. They believed they were superior and should therefore control all other beings. The Reptoids thought that they were the superior, so they need to be in control of always, and so they wanted to control the beings from the ocean. Over the next 10,000 years, the Earth dinoids and reptoids become more and more influenced by the Beltrix Reptoid Alliance. So they want to say that there were already earthling reptoids who became influenced by off-world reptoid. It's very hard to believe. I don't know. You know, unless are they the gods, and should we bow to them because they are gods? If they are gods, real, I don't want to exist anymore. I'm I'm really fed up, but I don't think they are gods. Dinoid reptoid decided during these 10,000 years to destroy the entire pre-Cretacean race through various psychological war tactics. Pre-Cretaceans sensed this aggression through the higher psychic abilities and realized the threat presented now by the dinoid reptoid civilizations. So 8 million ago, pre-Cretaceans decided to implode the fusion reactors located in the Ural mountain range, with the Earth's spiritual hierarchy giving them the permission to do so. Look at spiritual hierarchy, but I really like this. So war mighty warmongers in a preemptive counter strike. So those Ocean beings rebelled against the reptoids and decided to implode the fusion in the Ural Mountain. Pre-Cretaceans divide into two groups. One group evacuates out of our solar system to the constellation of Pegasus and Cetus, and the other group begins to alter themselves physically so that they may enter the oceans and there find a haven. This transformation process occurred over a period of 4 million years, so once not instantly, took long time to take place. So after 4 millions of years, they decided to, no, before that they decided to go to Pegasus and Cetus. They decide to leave Earth, and others become what they know today, the dolphins and whales. A period of 4 million years, and the pre-Cretaceans therefore became the present-day Cretaceans. The transformation process occurred, so they were extraterrestrial, and some of them became the dolphins and whales. That was about 4 million years ago. Pre-Cretaceans then imploded their fusion reactors, thus destroying 98% of the reptoid civilizations. The remaining 2% evacuated to the planet Maldek, near Mars, a planet within our solar system. If the reptoid now no longer being present on Earth, the Earth's spiritual hierarchies and the Cretaceans had to find a suitable guardian for the land. They searched the galaxy to a distance of approximately 80 light years from the Sun. After 2 to 3 million years of searching the galaxy, a primitive aquatic species that was starting to emerge from the oceans was discovered on the fourth planet of the Vega system. This species had creation myths, a language, and a hunting and gathering culture. The spiritual hierarchy of the Vega system were then asked if they would permit this particular species to be vastly altered genetically to accelerate their evolution so that they may become a guardian species. Or the founders, the Vega spiritual hierarchies agreed. Thus, the traces of the first humans once in the Vega star system. They was one of the first here. Their technology improved very quickly, and once they had developed star travel technology, they started to migrate into nearby star systems for a period of 2 to 5 million years. So let me understand again. The spiritual hierarchy of the Vega system were then asked if they would permit by who? By who? Who asked them? Who? After 2 to 3 million years of searching the galaxy, a primitive aquatic species was, but who? Who was searching the galaxy? The pre-Cretaceans? The pre-Cretaceans, who are them? Who are the Cretaceans? Of course, Cretaceans. Of course, we know that some become the dolphins, the whales, some moved to Pegasus and Cetus, but who were they? How do they look like? So they start to migrate to star for a period of the trace of the first human, and once they have developed star travel technology, 2.5 million years. So 4 million years before Christ, Galactic Federation was formed. Sirius B was colonized. Earth was selected for seeding. See? They are the dominator, they are the controller. 2 million years before Christ BC, Mars and Venus colonized. Hiberni colony founded on Earth. So when they say Earth was selected for sea, they mean saying there are people here. And a Sirius B was colonized, so Galactic Federation was formed. By who? Reptilian. They are not blonde humans. was all bluff. We have humans not decided. I don't believe. And then what happened was the still the Dracos who Galactic Federation, and then they colonized Sirius B, and then select as to be seeded. This means they come here and colonize. So 2 million years before Christ, Mars and Venus colonized. Hibernate colony founded on Earth. 1 million years BC, reptoids were building up their forces in the planet Maldek during all this time. Wow. Never give up, and still one day just here to evolve and be spiritual when they aren't. Reptoids have a mass attack on both our solar system and also the nearby ones. Colonies on Earth, Hibernate, Mars and Venus were totally destroyed. Reptoids therefore regain control. Dinoids here, Saurians, Dracos, regain control over the solar system for a period of 80,000 years. In response to this, the Galactic Federation planned a counterattack to reintroduce humans into this system. They arranged for a battle planet 4 times the diameter of the Earth to come into the solar system and destroy the planet Maldek, which was the Dinoid Reptoid stronghold or their base. The remains of the planet Maldek are what we can now see as the asteroid belt. 900,000 BC. Human colony was again founded on Earth. It was called Lemuria. Of course, there was people here, but it's not like the one we thought you see today. Lemuria was all the parts there from Africa, Middle East to Asia. Suddenly China was only China. What's now China was very, very giant. Over the next 805,000 years, the Lemurians, am I pronounced correct? Lemurians, is it Lemurians or Lemurians, spread right across the face of the planet. It was called Lemuri. Over the next 85,000 years. So 500,000 years BC, Lemurians founded what was called daughter colonies, the main ones being Atlantis, what is now central China and Tibet, and also the Libyan Egypt colony. Look, I'm gonna make clear, because they say it's China doesn't mean that the people that was there before was like this. No, it was totally another people. Okay, Egyptos was not Arabic, not Jew, it was another people. So they said, okay, and this part there we have in Australasianos was not these people that we have now, or the Aborigines, was others. So Lemurians were totally different species. Okay, but they will say, oh no, they were blonde, all these blue-eyed. They will say, but no, maybe if they were, because they were Draco hybrids. 100,000 years BC, Atlantis, and Libyan Egyptian colonies are declared daughter empires. How come Atlantis be there? That was not Atlantis, that was Lemurian. Lemuria, not Atlantis. Atlantis was in what you now have, Americas to Europe. But only because they had trade with Africa, with now what call Africa. Okay? They had trades. and they have trade with Lemurian. It was all what we now see Asia, and Africa and Middle East, the land of Limu, Sumeria or Suma. So as the empires developed, the Atlanteans began to acquire feel of unique. No, no, not Atlanteans. Began to acquire feel of uniqueness. See about the culture that lead to feelings of separateness from other daughter empires. After some time, the Atlanteans from Europe and America felt that they should become the mother empire and quickly beginning to have a strong desire to destroy the Lemurians in order to gain full power. The Atlanteans then beginning form alliances with renegade Pleiadians and Alpha Centaurians, which had hierarchical systems of government to further develop their technologies. And these Pleiadians or Alpha Centauri are all reptoids as well. Sometimes the Atlanteans felt that they should become all the same thing, that because they break into set, You see the tribes, the shamanic tribe that came from Asia to Americas, they fight among each other, right? Like who fight Romans fight with others than Europe among faction against faction. Vikings also explore England and so on, and then Japan fight with China. They look same, right? But I'm talking about ethnics here when because of tribal division, like Bedouin Arabic sometimes fight with the others, and others fight with the Bedouin, something like that. So it's all about what they call feu, feudal discrimination against one another. What I'm trying to say here is that because they are talking about Lemurian, about Atlantis, doesn't mean that were eyes. Understand, we humans were all about Dracos fight among each other. They only fed the name, the tribe, etc. However, to me, they are all Dracos or aliens. Okay, they were not humans. So decide to attack and destroy Lemuria with the help of their renegade allies. After waiting 25,000 years BC, after waiting patiently for many years for just the right moment to attack the Lemurian Empire, the Atlanteans decided to attack and destroy Lemuria with the help of their renegade allies. All aliens fight. They would accomplish this by taking the other moon. Earth had two moons in those times out of orbit by using force fields until it was as close as possible to the Lemurian Empire, and then the moon was destroyed, resulting in a catastrophic shower of meteors. This destroyed much of Lemuria, but this also resulted in many pressures being inflicted upon the tectonic plates. Hey, wait a minute. Lemuria supposed to be what we call now Turkey. It was between Europe, what is now Europe, and Asia, the Orient. Okay. Um, yeah. So the east and the Occident. So, but say Sumeri, it was another thing. The Mu people was another thing. It was what now is Australasia, Asia, etc. Lemuria may be Africa, Middle East today, and Turkey, resulting in the gas chamber on the Lemuria to implode and to sink most of the Lemurian continent. My goodness. Oh my God. You see us, they who do this. And many just, oh, because it's God, because all this punishment. Wow, this God even punish one another. Your gods even punish one another. You see? They mess up with the tectonic plates, they mess up the ionosphere, and then they come here and they say, oh, that is, you know what? That one is all natural process. It's called natural disasters. No, I call it artificial disasters because that's what it is. I see things as it is, and not as other people see or want me to see. So resulting in the gas chamber and the Lemuria to implode, and this what they did now in Italy the other day. A gas exploded. That's an alien. The aeroplane in Indonesia that disappeared yesterday. Aliens. The floods. Aliens. All the catastrophe. Aliens. These are pests. You know what's pest? Bacteria. I don't know how to get rid of it. And it's very hard. And until you all keep on worship them, you keep on carrying their teeth and their sack, they'll continue with what they are doing. Nothing will change. And the song will continue again and again and again. From Atlantis to the Great Flood, you, empire, would now not bow down to the hierarchical rule of Atlantis and Libyan Egyptian empires, and was thus forced to literally go underground. Today, they form what is known as the Kingdom of Agatha or Shambhala. Atlantis formed 10 ruling districts that Gobi's Desert, the Gobi Desert in China. Well, they don't have a huge portal. Atlantis formed 10 ruling districts, each with its own king. These kings together formed the governing council of Atlantis. 25,000 years to 15,000 years BC, the Royal Governing Council of Atlantis decided that a new form of government was desperately needed in which a superior ruling class could be established and sustained by their pretense that they had been empowered by a god force. Autocracy was thus born. It was in full control, enforcing a period of peace and stability. They also started the experiment in people's DNA, the indigenous people. And when I say indigenous, doesn't mean because you have to have brown skin, black skin. No. Anybody, okay? Anybody that was already here. They will start experimenting people's DNA genetics in order to make them more controllable. Yeah, that's obvious to see. And how are they controlled? Huh? How are you all controlled? They make it very nice. They make their job very perfect. Because look at you right now. This also resulted in people's consciousness being reduced to a level of amoeba. Most of us here, like spans contracted and psychic spiritual abilities decreasing dramatically. Yeah, if you can feel a headache come, it's already very lucky. If you can feel it, then I can say that you are very like sensitive, intuitive. Because people have lost all this gift, and by eating meat, by eating all the food that we eat, all the all this chemically loaded food, additives, all this junk food makes us more idiotic than we are. So 15,000 to 10,000 years BC, throughout the years, There are many wars among the various empires due to underground movements of people that wanted to have the Lemurian philosophy back in place. Example, no hierarchy, poor things. So they went up underground. This war led to vast destruction. So you see, have anybody remember that I said in my other videos that those people on the ground are not the fallen angel for intelligence and honesty sake. Who invented this was the reptilian themselves. Those are not fallen angels. Those were people here who were genocide and they were banished to the bottom of the earth, the interior of the earth. As a last resort, the warring empires decided to attack the opponent's crystal temples, which were responsible for maintaining two frozen layers of water about 15,000 to 30,000 feet above ground, which protected people on Earth from the harmful sun's rays and also ensured a stable weather pattern at all times. See, as a last resort, the warring empires decide to attack. So this Dracos, they attack the opponent crystal temples. Which are responsible for maintaining two frozen layers of water about 15 to 30 feet above ground, which protected people on Earth from the harmful sun rays and also ensured a stable weather pattern at all times. Right now, there was a massive our ionosphere. I don't say that. Don't I say that they are massive ionosphere? Unfortunately, the attacks were made simultaneously and caused the firmament, the sky, the water layers there in the sky to be broken down like a dam that is explode, and those millions of gallons of water just poured down like rain onto the surface, causing what is known biblically as the Great Flood. That was 6,000 years ago, as you said, many of the holy books. So you see, that's what happened right now. That's what happened right now, and they just still say God, God, God. What God is this? You worship a devil, is it? Because which God will do that? You think a God keeps things in the heart? A true God will keep things in the heart? Will love conditionally like you? No, it doesn't. It doesn't work this way. We may do it. Your aliens master gods do it, not a God. God is not unconditional. For goodness sake, for intelligence and wisdom's sake, God is not like that. It's not God sending all those disasters. Those are not natural. Those are artificial. Why on earth is just me who can think and rationalize in this earth? Why? The breakdown of the firmament was also resulted in the power ice caps freezing and also the many climatic variations we have today. We have today. We have today, like we have today. What they call hailstorm, snowstorm, floods, earthquake, volcanic eruptions. All this, like the artificially engineered species, those are not natural selection. That's not natural evolution. Those are programmed. Okay, those are artificially done with the use of high tech. After the flood, only about 2 million people survived. 2 million. survived the flood from an original 65 million. So you see, a long time ago, there's only 65 million. Nowadays, there's no billion. People don't believe that. It's all bluff. It's all an excuse to do what they are doing. So, out of 65, so about 63 million people perished. Unfortunately, many of the survivors were the mutant humans. So you see, those who survived were the seedlings of the Dracos, they themselves. So all the original humans perished. But we still do carry their DNA, alright? Don't worry. Even though we are mixed right now, we still carry the DNA of our primordial ancestors. The ones that have been genetically altered by the Atlanteans into a much lower state of consciousness. Hey, hello, why don't you say Dracos or that thing there, Dinos? Why don't you say it was Saurians instead of Atlantis, like they're talking about? Hey, it was a human. They had blondie eye. They were blonde. It's a bluff, man, bluff. And if they do here, because they are what? They are representative. They do represent their forefathers, who are the aliens themselves. So the ones that had been genetically altered by the Atlanteans into a much lower state of consciousness. Also, the fact that the firmament, the sky, was now no longer an existing sea. Oh, damn it! How it could be uh, scientifically possible not to exist anymore sky? What's that? So the sky was no longer an existing sea, resulting in the DNA and just consciousness breaking down even further. I don't get it. Why would this, the lack, the absence of a sky, um, cause all those mutations? I don't get it, really. A few different renegades from, why they do call them renegades for, from Pleiades. When they say renegades, because they don't accept themselves, but why would they say, call them that? From Pleiades, Alpha and Beta Centauri came to different places on Earth after the flood. Mm. So they start to come down. See it as an opportune time to establish their own desired ideologies and also being seen as godlike. And just reverence it, worship it. Eh, but they were the one who caused the floods in the first place. Those Pleiades, Pleiadians, Dracos, Alpha, Orion, Beta Centauri, Andromedas are all Dracos. Since there were mainly only mutant humans left, the humans were therefore easily controlled by these renegades. I see. And who are you saying all this? I mean, are this informant, the one that giving out information, is it this entity to be trusted, or does he is twisting things around, or uh it a member of all these other Saurians? Such no form of disobedience to these new gods won't allow it. No disobedience, huh? Because your God is jealous, your God is very punitive, very vengeful, very jealous, very egocentric, very unconditional. So you're not allowed to dissolve it, huh? So the concept of ruling by divine right became inculcated on earth. That's what we have still today. The idiots, all the heads. Those are those ships. Those are the real lost sheep. because they lack intelligence and they lack information, and they has been taken in by their own masters. This concept of worshipping elite has continued through to modern times. Yeah, they only care about elitism, who have money, who got prestige, etc. So culture would rise against culture in wars, claiming that the elite they themselves worshipped were superior to the elite of the opposing factions. That's what we have all the different political parties. Né? Is it? You see, they fight one another. That's what we have here now. They explain Gamcook. So we are now in times, though, that will finally bring to an end in approximate 10,000 years of semi-consciousness and regain our full consciousness that we deserve. Yeah, about time. We wait for long. This will be due to our entire solar system coming into contact with what is known as the photon belt. Photon belt. But you said what? They say earlier on that it was the plasma. No more photonic light. Now it's plasma. Because the photon, they kind of, they oscillate, they bipolarize, while the plasma is more kind of consistent and it's difficult to change mind. You follow? That's what I heard. So let me see. Yeah, that's what we have for today. There's so much to assimilate, and later on there's more information, some very uh, better tighten up the seat belt because we are going a roller coaster inside the rabbit hole.